Hey, friend Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, today we gonna get deep. Zacaton is a 12% Imperial Stout from Hubbard's Cave Brewery in Niles, Illinois. While I know that they do all different types of styles, Hubbard's Cave to me is more known for their stouts. While you may not know the name, you've probably seen their beer on shelves. I think their labels are pretty hard to miss. They're almost exclusively black and white, and today we're going to check out this label. But first, I'd like to thank John over at sombeer.com and the upcoming Dewey Pod Monster podcast for snagging this beer for me. I'd also like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, Chad Shirk, and Cam Freeman for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe just throw me a couple bucks to buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.drafttherapy.com, where you can get early access to these videos and a few other special perks available only to patrons. Go check out all the details over at patreon.drafttherapy.com. Let's take a look at the label. Across the top, this is going to be really quick. We're going to be able to go over this one pretty quick. It says Hubbard's Cave in black font. Underneath that, it says El Zacaton, which is, I believe, like a mineral spring. Has all these little kind of, I don't know, white and black, circles all over it. And underneath that, it says 2021-2. This is 12% alcohol by volume. What I didn't mention in the intro is that this is a bit of a spicy stout. It says Imperial Stout fermented on toasted oak with almond flour, cocoa powder, cinnamon sticks, vanilla beans, ancho chilies, guajillo chilies, and habanero chilies. And then on the side here, it says Flavored Imperial Stout, brewed at Une Annee Brewery LLC in Niles, Illinois. And it's 1 pint, then the government warning. So Hubbard's Cave is kind of like a sub group, I guess, of this Une Annee. That if you look up anything about Hubbard's Cave, you'll be directed to the other brewery's website, or it's like a restaurant, I guess. So I don't know all the facts, but that's what I was able to gather. So I'm going to use a large snifter style glass here today, and we're going to go ahead and crack it. This has no date. The can has no dating information that I can see whatsoever. So we're just going to have to assume that this is probably pretty fresh. And we're going to crack it and put a nose on it. See what we get here. It has a nice sweet aroma to it. Has a bit of a vanilla, has a little bit of a, there's a cocoa, like chocolatey aroma in there too. But there's also this really like hint of spice on the nose. Let's go ahead and pour this. Coming out really dark out of the can. It's got kind of a bit of an opaque pour. A little bit like, it almost kind of looks powdery. Like, I don't even know if that's a proper way to describe the pour, but it just has kind of like a powdery look to it. There wasn't much head really at all on the pour itself. On this, like after the finish, it's really just on the rim here. So on the top, you can't see any real head to speak of. It's just around the rim, and there are little, I don't know, lots of little floaties in here. That's a bit different. It looks like they're almost like pepper flakes, but let's go ahead and put a nose on it and we'll try it out. Yeah, same thing. Lots of, actually picking up more cinnamon now, a sweeter vanilla. There is this like spicy kind of capsaicin-y kind of note in there. It has, like I said, vanilla, chocolate, and spicy. Cinnamon. Spicy stouts. I kind of enjoy spicy stouts a little bit more than spicy beer as a bigger group. Spicy stouts are a nice subset. But yeah, there's lots of floaties in there. You should have been able to see it from the overhead. Let's go ahead and try it out. Cheers. So the mouthfeel is it's a really heavy mouthfeel. It's not syrupy. It's not like super duper heavy, but it definitely has a heavier mouthfeel, has a thick mouthfeel, bit of a creaminess going on in there. You may have heard my voice change a little bit, and that's because of the flavor that I'm going to talk about here. I'm going to have to step through it because it has a lot of layers to it. But let's start, and I'll just tell you about the taste first off. So it has a fair bit of a vanilla sweet flavor up front. A little bit of a chocolatey note that kind of comes, after that a little bit. Cinnamon is definitely in there, but you get this real, a strong, spicy, chili flavor to it. It has a lot of heat comes through on this. It's not really like overpowering heat, but it definitely, I can feel it on the back of my tongue specifically. You can pick it up. It picks up from the beginning, to the middle, to the end. It has this spicy note to it, but it's not overpowering. I love spicy food. I've mentioned on all these kind of spicy beer, spicy stout kind of videos that I've done. I love spicy food. Like, I like to go to, you know, places where they have spicy food. I'll get the hottest kind of spicy Thai food or any of that stuff. I just really enjoy it. I kind of enjoy the sweat that you start to get from those things. This has a spicy note to it, but it's not overpowering. It is definitely there. It's definitely a strong flavor, but it doesn't ever feel like it's over the top for like no specific reason. It definitely is there, you know, and it feels like it contributes to everything. Now, I'm not going to be sitting here and telling you that I'm going to be able to pick up all the different kind of chili notes to it, but it definitely has a heat to it. So you're getting a lot of nice kind of sweetness on the upfront. It kind of gives you, you just get this split second where you're almost fooled that it's not going to be spicy because it has that sweet note to it. Lots of vanilla, lots of a chocolate, like a milk chocolate, not even a dark chocolate, not even like a bitter kind of chocolate. It has a nice sweet chocolate up front, but then after the swallow and during, like I said, beginning, middle, end of the whole kind of experience, you're getting this kind of spicy burn on your tongue. If you are not a spicy fan, if you don't like spicy beer, if you're, or spicy food for that matter, this is not one that you would, I don't think you would pick this up and look at the label and say, oh yeah, you know, cocoa powder, vanilla sticks, you know, cinnamon sticks, vanilla beans. Oh, and they have all these, I don't see anything about a chili. Oh, wait. I'm not tasting any kind of oak flavor to it. I think the almond flour is there as more of like a thickening agent. It isn't necessary, and not thick as in like this beer is super thick, but on the pour, you could tell it had like a kind of a bit of a powdery look to it. Like it had, there was like the visualization of seeing like that powdery kind of look to it. With all this, all being said that I've said about having the spiciness, having a really spicy note to it, it's not like a burning spice, so it's only really on my tongue. I don't feel like a burn in my chest or down my throat. The 12% is very like exquisitely hidden in this beer, and I think it's so much that your brain is kind of tricked into maybe picking up on all that spiciness that you don't really pick up that it is 12%. If I didn't see that it was 12% on here, I wouldn't think it was. Of all the different spicy stouts that I've had lately, like from the Odd Side Mayan Mocha, I think I had one, another one recently. This one is, I would say this is probably my favorite of all the spicy stouts that I've had this year so far. I've had a few. I can't remember what they all were, but I would say this is definitely either at the top or tied for the top. I think it is the top. It's a really tasty beer. The spiciness isn't too offensive, but go into this knowing that if you don't like spicy beer, don't try this. If you like spicy anything, spicy food, you might like this, but it might be a little bit too much for you. But I, being a spicy food enthusiast, I really enjoy what they have going on here. I've never reviewed a Hubbard's Cave beer. I've only had a few of them. They've always been stouts. I haven't had any other IPAs yet. But I think this one's legit. If you like spicy beer, if you like spicy food, this spicy stout would definitely scratch those itches for you. And even with mentioning all that spicy stuff, this would be a one and done. I don't think I'd do more than that. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, friends, that has been El Zacaton from Hubbard's Cave Brewery. Have you had this beer? Have you had other spicy stouts? Have you had other Hubbard's Cave beers you want to recommend? Let me know in the comments down below while you're down there. If you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell. I'm here talking about beer twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite, or you might be able to avoid a clunker. If you're watching, you're subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries. These guys are in Niles, Illinois. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. See you around. Cheers.